Welcome to another edition of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we run down all the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website from the past 7 days. I'm recording this episode on Saturday, a little bit early as I'm flying for a bit, but I don't think there's anything, unless something breaks on Sunday, it won't be included in this episode, but as far as I know, as far as at least I'm aware, that's nothing like that is set in stone, but we are going to just jump through and go over the stories anyway. And it wasn't as busy of a week as previous weeks, but still a pretty loaded week, to be honest. And I will also mention that we've had an absurd amount of requests and features on the site lately, and it's just we've been doing our best to keep up. So hopefully we've done our best, the best we can. And yeah, we're going to jump straight into it with news from NF Sports. NF Sports has been around for a while. I can't remember what I know they used to have a different name. Maybe they didn't. Either way, they've sort of started coming back and emerging for the past couple of years, and it's a very well-rounded, active lifestyle, nutrition type brand. But they've put together something that you just don't really see all that often, and in some parts of the world, you just don't see it all. And this is complete transparency in regards to lab testing. Transparency, obviously, hopefully everyone knows this by now, is basically when you get the fact panel list of ingredients and you are told what's in it, as opposed to a blend where you say, hey, this is 3 grams of creatine, beta-alanine, caffeine. You don't know what each of them are. Transparent label is where you kind of get 1 gram of creatine, 1 gram of beta-alanine, 100 milligrams of caffeine, whatever the doses are, but you're at least told what it is. So yeah, NF Sports does have transparent labels, and now they've really stepped it up. They're sharing lab results. There's something similar to, I think NutriBio's done this, Purist Labs done it. I don't know if they... I know Purist Labs has. I'm not sure if they're still... I haven't checked. But so this is basically where they lab test each of the batches that they do. Those batches will then have a lot number attached to them. That lot number is printed on your tub. And so you're basically going to be able to head to a website. I can't remember what the exact website is. lots.nfsports.com. From there, you can just enter your batch number, and they will give you the lab results from your specific batch. Basically, they've tested it for what you should be getting per serving and what is actually on the label, and showing you what it is. It's never usually dead on, 355 milligrams of caffeine. It might be 354, 356. It'll be in and around there, but the lab test will show you what you get, pretty much. And that's just not something you see from, like I said, I've only maybe seen it from 5 brands. The tricky part is a lot of brands do batch tests, but then it's another thing to want to put it out there, and it's another thing entirely to be able to systematically have it organized enough that you do that. To be able to simply send give a batch number on a website and it loads that related thing, that's a pretty big deal. You can now do that for each of the supplement, which is a pretty cool thing. Obviously, I don't know if it works. What would the word be? If it's got backwards compatibility. I don't know if you can enter a batch from previous products that you've had and it shows up. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it is moving forward. That's the general process. So yeah, check that out on the site. We got a full breakdown of everything there. While on the topic of brands that sort of emerged over the past few years, we were reached out to and contacted by Inner Armour. Now, I haven't seen Inner Armour for... I don't really know. They've been around for a very long time, 2005, so close to 2 decades. It's a very strong legacy brand, extremely strong internationally. They were probably more known in other countries than I recall seeing them in North America. They're just very, very, very broad brand, at least internationally and globally in distribution. And yeah, they hit us up, and I thought that they had either maybe just stuck to international, or just I didn't know. I didn't think of it. I just hadn't heard from them for a while. And yeah, it turns out that they were recently acquired or changed ownership. And they've undergone, that transition happened in 2020, which was obviously not the greatest time for absolutely anything. That I'm guessing slowed down the whole process, and since then they've transitioned to this whole new ownership and structure and every other thing that comes with the changing of guard, and they're back now. If that makes sense, not that they were ever gone anywhere, but they are back in full force, really trying to push, get back that presence. I believe that they're starting to really claw back into the international world. They are based out of Canada now, vertically integrated as well, which for those unaware means that they make their own stuff. A ridiculous amount of conveniences come with that, just the ability to be able to change products, make sure products are on the way, get things, just a lot of things come with that. They're able to move faster than others. Obviously there's money, margins involved and different things like that. You're not paying a manufacturer to make your stuff, and just makes you a little more versatile. So yeah, a lot of differences in Inner Armour, but they're looking to come back strong. And from what I know, they're positioning themselves to have sort of a strong, I'm not really sure to say strong, but I guess that a stronger 2024. They're looking to really start pushing, and the sports nutrition industry is incredibly competitive and incredibly fast paced. If you don't keep up, you don't really have a chance of having an impact. So first thing you got to do is keep up, then start to try and really push through and stand out. And I'm guessing that's what Inner Armour, at least that's what it sounds like they're attempting to do, or positioning themselves to do. So look out for them in the coming months. We'll be sharing any updates we have. Definitely looks like they've got a lot in store. I'm not saying that as in I actually know, and I'm not telling you. I don't know. I've just, from what they've described and what it sounds like, they have a lot up their sleeve and a lot planned. But yeah, we put a little story together, basically going over just what I said on the site. Be on the lookout for them. They are emerging, which is a difficult, interesting way to describe a brand that's already well known. But yeah, keep an eye out for them, especially over on Stacked. The next story we've got actually puts us into the hydration world, which is a ridiculously and increasingly popular space, despite the fact that it's already pretty large. It was only like a couple of years ago that brands started doing dedicated hydration supplements more advancedly, if that's a word, I guess, more complexly, I don't know. But they started putting more focus on hydration supplements instead of doing things that were just electrolyte powders. They were putting performance ingredients in there, mixing endurance components, adding things to really spice it up. Do what we've seen sports nutrition brands do to other categories like energy drinks. For as long as we've known, energy drinks have been very much not straightforward, but relatively typical: caffeine, taurine, B vitamins. And now that supplement companies are really getting involved, they're just showing off what they do. They're bringing more to the game, they're adding more to the formula, and that's kind of what we've been seeing with hydration. The new entries in that space have been showing up week after week. And this past week we saw a legacy brand, or Canadian legacy brand, PVL. They have shown that they are beta sampling a product. Now, I might not be right here. Not always right. A lot of the time I am. But they're beta sampling a product that is in powder format called Hydra Right. Now, Hydra is it's a shortening of hydration. And anytime you go YTE, light, right, whatever it is, you can't help but relate it through to electrolyte. So my guess is that Hydra Right is PVL's hydration supplement, and that in the picture, the teaser that I've shared, it shows them shaking it up mix up in a shaker and then pouring it into sample cups. My guess is mixing up the powder, putting into sample cups, more than suggesting that it is a powder format hydration supplement. And yeah, they're in the final stages or some point of the formulation process, and I look forward to seeing what they've come up with, if that is indeed a hydration supplement. PVL is known for some quality supplements. Iso Gold protein powder, one of the top selling protein powders out there in Canada, and they also don't just stop there. They do a whole bunch of other things. They've got great creatine, aminos, and of course their loaded pre-workout Dominate. It's a very well known brand, legacy brand, very strong in Canada, and looks like they're about to enter the hydration space. If I'm wrong, I'll be happy to admit it, but I feel with the name Hydra Right and the interest that the hydration category has seen in the past past year or so, I can't see it being anything else. Could be wrong though, again. Next up, we're going to go over to, I think I might actually keep this one in Sweden. So Sweden has just been a ridiculously fierce competition this last year. And we mentioned this, if you follow the Stack website, as I suggest everyone does, multiple times a day, every day, get my traffic going, get the visitor up, share it, whatever. Sweden has become a very interesting, complex market. Now, typically I would rope any country in Europe, the European market. But the thing is in Europe is that there are different rules and regulations from country to country. It's easy to forget, but the rules in Italy, in France, in Germany, in Sweden are all different. And the culture's different, and the people are different, and the economies are different. So the ranges and pricing and the products and the things that appeal to those people are all drastically different. This is one of the big things we try to communicate on Stacked. We might share a product in Brazil and it might look like absolute shit. But you need to understand that the regulations there, if you're made there, are ridiculously harsh, just ridiculously harsh. And that goes with most places around the world, not most, I'd say a lot of places around the world, Australia, China, these things are not the same. And so we try and communicate that point, but if you bring that supplement to America, you better make sure that it's a beefy one. But either way, Sweden has undergone some pretty intense competition, and there are a lot of emerging names that have been putting together some powerhouse supplements, and that's really elevated the competition. And I would say, and don't hold me to this, but I think it's fair to say, for the amount of people in Sweden, specifically Sweden, not Norway, Finland, the other surrounding ones up there, the amount of brands is huge. And more importantly, the level of quality of these brands, the amount of things these guys are pumping out, it's closer to America than I would say the UK is close to America, which is a big deal. Aware Nutrition was a big player, and the one two I'm about to talk to about now are a great reflection of that. So Atron, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, hit me up, let me know. But Atron, they've done some serious products lately, and they just came out with a supplement called Fade, which is specifically a nighttime sleep supplement. Now, sports nutrition brands don't usually do specialized categories like sleep all that much, but when they do, as I was talking about with hydration, they bring that premium touch. They show you that you can't just stick with a few things. You got to pack it out. And Atron has most certainly done this. So I'm going to rattle off the highlights. And that's another thing worth noting is that when you get international, certain types of ingredients are just not even looked at. Sleep is a drastically various. Melatonin, GABA, those things are not as easily used everywhere like they are in the US. Same goes with yohimbine. As far as I know, I know it's probably legal in some other ones, but it ain't in Europe, it ain't in the UK, it ain't in Australia. It's very much an American ingredient. So be aware. But with Fade, they have made one hell of an effort considering what they have available to them. And I'm just going to rattle it off. So the whole product's designed to help you get sleep, great relaxation and recovery, take advantage of the crucial nighttime window. So in each serving, you get 10 grams of glycine. Now I've seen this thing at 2 or 3 on the sleep product. I ain't seen it at 10. Then alongside that, there's 200 milligrams of theanine, a gram of magnesium biglycinate, a gram of citicoline, a gram of olive leaf, a gram of pure citrulline, 1.5 grams of one of my favorite sleep ingredients in GABA. That's just always, I don't know what it is, it just always has been able to help me relax. I know some people hit or miss with it. And again, it's not an overly internationally friendly component, but it's one of my favorites. That's in there, 1.5 grams. And then you've got a gram of KSM 66 ashwagandha, the higher quality ashwagandha out there, and at a gram, I don't think, I've seen it at 800 milligrams. I don't recall I thought I might have seen it at a little bit more than that, but you'd be hard pressed to find anyone using 600 is the one that usually people go to. I think Inspired used 800. but I cannot for the life of me think of anyone that put down a gram. 1.2 comes to mind, but I can't name who I might have seen that with, or even if that's true. But either way, a gram. And again, this is an international brand, limited on what they can use. So it's a beast. It is one hell of a supplement, using everything that they can to help you get better sleep and just filling the crap out of it with dosages. And I applaud them for this. And this is more to what I was saying. The amount of, the quality of competitors in Sweden right now is just really, they obviously, when someone steps up to the plate, it encourages others to step up to the plate. Otherwise, they might feel lesser or whatever. So it's like a competitive thing. On the other side, there's another brand that I was saying that's really been stepping up their game is Viking Power. It's a house brand of MM Sports, if I'm not mistaken. MM Sports is a premier sports nutrition retailer in Sweden, and they've dropped a hell of a selection of sports nutrition products this year, like just ridiculously good supplements. I won't even go back too far. What we got, their pre-workout Leviathan with 12 grams of pure citrulline. And that was just one of the highlights in that thing. It's a beast. And again, much like I was saying, this is an international market. Usually the US is kind of the leader when it comes to the whole kitchen sink, variety of ingredients, pushing the boundaries, solid dosages. And this is Viking powder all the way in Sweden. Not a huge country by any stretch of the imagination, but a ridiculously evolving market. But yeah, they put together a new product this week called Bifrost. And this goes along with the many other quality supplements they've launched specifically this year, which, to be honest, is putting them right in line, in my mind, to take home our International Brand of the Year title. And I'm only saying that because it honestly looks like they're doing a ridiculously good job where they cannot be denied a nomination, even if they just stopped and closed up shop now. But yeah, they launched a product called Bifrost, and very similar again. That's a superfood supplement, and as far as superfood supplements go, this isn't a category people usually go too high on, but this is very damn impressive. And I would even say this on an international scale. I'm not saying this is just impressive for Sweden, Europe, or even just the UK and Europe or rest of the world. This is a pretty solid supplement as far as the market goes. So I'm going to rattle it off. So you got a 20 gram serving with 4 grams of greens, 3 grams of fruits, 2 grams of glutamine, dietary fiber, the digozyme enzyme blend at 90 milligrams, lactospore premium probiotics providing 150 million CFUs, a little bit of added vitamin C, black pepper extract, and then you've got 4.5 grams of bone broth and 750 milligrams of beef liver extract. So these things are, that list, usually you just get greens and superfoods. You might get, I don't know what the average dose is, maybe 5. So they've got the greens, the fruits, pumped it up to what a combined 7. And that's not from all from one singular source. The greens, for example, you got 1.4 from spinach, 1 of broccoli, 800 milligrams of spirulina, and then 300 milligrams of barley grass and wheatgrass. So it's a variety. It's not just a singular superfood source. And then you've got the other things in there, the lactospore, the digozyme, the fiber, the bone broth and beef liver. This is quite a comprehensive superfood supplement. And they've done a good job at sort of mixing in gut health, digestion in there, and not really bridging, overlapping on other supplements. Sometimes you get added vitamins and minerals, which occasionally, might cross over or, squeeze into a multivitamin, but they've done like I said, this is a damn solid supplement. And I hate to say, it's solid. It's even more impressive because it's from an international competitor, but that is the case. It is impressive for an international competitor, but also incredibly impressive just in general. Just you could drop this in the US and it would fit right in. That's the craziest part. Very impressive supplement. Check it out. And if you can, check out the rest of what Viking Power has done this year. They've not slowed. I know they came out with a lot of things and they told me at the start of the year that they were going to bring out more. And a lot of people say that shit. They say it and then things fall flat on the face, or they do a cool one and then the rest are just not as impressive. That's not been the case with Viking Power. They have really hammered the crap out of this. So if you have time, check it out. Go to the website, look up Viking Power, and then just go to the brand page where we've got all the products listed in order. You'll be impressed. And you might even try and buy some stuff from over there. So yeah, I've got 2 more stories to round out this episode. The last one it's a bit of a cool one. And it's not really a story that's recently popped up. It's a story that's more of, I think it's from the last 2 weeks actually. So G Fuel, the collaboration king almost. I don't think anyone's outpaced G Fuel in terms of collaborations. They weren't the first to do authentic collaborations, but my God, have they probably got more than anyone else. I don't need to keep count. I don't think it's possible to keep count of them at this point, but I don't think anyone's beaten them on this. Like, they do them probably every week or two, at a guess. But this last week, or this past week and the week before, they've got 3, and they're all themed around a pretty cool little thing. So Halloween is obviously happening in 4 weeks, end of next month, and they have appropriately put together some special edition flavors. Now, G Fuel has done this before. They've done special edition flavors for Halloween to spice up the occasion. They've done it a little bit different this time. They have gone out and partnered with 3 legendary horror film franchises, all very nicely linked to the I guess the Halloween theme. And they're pretty damn cool, and they're all for the G Fuel energy drink. So these aren't just flavors for the supplement, they're for the energy drink, and they include the one and only Chucky, who put together a flavor called Good Guys, which is blood orange, and the other one next you've got Friday the 13th. And that flavor is called Hack and Slash, which is a citrus fruit punch. Which I think the Hack and Slash is exclusive to GNC. The Good Guys was available on G Fuel's website, gone now. That might even be the case. And so the last one is A Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger. They've created a flavor with them called Dream Demon that is also a fruit punch, but described as a tart fruit punch. So Hack and Slash is citrus, and then Dream Demon is tart fruit punch. That is also available through G Fuel's website. I don't know if it's still around. I wouldn't be surprised if they go out of stock. These things they're all limited edition. And I think it's pretty cool that not only did they do a themed flavor, they made these flavors collaborations, and not only were they like they could have done an ambassador collaboration and just done a candy corn flavor, whatever, right? But they actually went out, specifically picked these horror film franchises that everyone knows for Halloween and kind of what they are. And they're not just any film franchise, they are legendary. Scream would have been a nice one in there, but I guess it's not as timeless as Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and so on. But yeah, pretty cool little collection. And I just like the overall theme. I don't think when it was the one I was overly impressed, but when they had the whole 3, I thought that was just damn cool. It's just one of those things where, like, when people say to me, why did so-and-so get nominated for, why did so-and-so win? It's just like, it's just some cool shit. I don't really know how else to explain it than they did some cool shit. It's just, yeah. And that is another great example of just some cool shit. The last story we have is the big one right behind us. There's 2 parts to this, actually. So Ghost has come out and shared a bit of a teaser image, a bit of a sneaky little thing. And it is a picture of a bunch of bottles, relatively clear or transparent, kind of like your amino or pre-workout, but they're in bottles, obviously beverages. Now, this to me suggests it's a completely new beverage. So separate from Ghost Energy and separate from the Ghost Protein Shake. Mostly because they're all clear and they come in an RTD bottle. So these obviously aren't finished products. If you go to the website, type in Ghost, you'll see it. They basically appear to be sample bottles. Now, the question obviously then goes to, what the hell are they? And with Ghost, you're already doing protein shakes, already doing energy drinks. We're left with 2 things. A protein water RTD, which isn't completely impossible, but Ghost hasn't actually touched protein water in its protein powder, or even the powder format, so it's not likely, but possible. The other one we think it is the hydration drink. And this is very, very likely, at least in my mind, and even when we put it up, a lot of people commented it on Instagram, it's very much the same thing. It's very likely a hydration drink, mostly because they have the protein shake already out there. It would be odd if Ghost doubled up and offered another protein shake as an alternative, especially when they haven't done that in powder format with their key supplements. So my thought process is very much this is a hydration drink. That seems more fitting than anything else. And they have been going pretty hard on the hydration side. And the hydration category, as I mentioned earlier with PVL's Hydrorite, it's exploded. on the beverage side and the powder side. There are beverages doing powders now, powders making beverages. It's ridiculous out there. And it wouldn't surprise me that Ghost is going to throw its hat in the ring. That seems a very, very likely possibility. And this preview, this picture, seeks straight into it. And if they come in, I wholeheartedly think they will have a ridiculous impact, because the energy drink space has been around for a while, right? And they came in and they made a lot of noise with a lot of what they did that was different in supplements, collaborations, the nice marketing, the well presentation, the strong lifestyle approach. Everything that they did was quite different for the energy drink space. So it's still impressive and surprising, but you could have imagined it happening in energy drink when they bring what they brought to the table in supplements to energy drinks. If they do it in hydration, a category that has seen ridiculously nothing, and I don't mean like no innovation, but like not a ridiculous amount of, or a huge amount of excitement, right? I said a ridiculous a lot of this episode, but anyway, not a huge amount of excitement. I don't think I've seen a hydration collaboration. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I don't think. And these are very straightforward beverages. The sports drink category and hydration category, beverage side, is very simple and straightforward. I mean, Prime's definitely coming to spice things up with Logan Paul as the face and everything like that. But Ghost brings a lot more to the table. That's more, all the stuff it brings to the table, and non-face related. The brand association, the marketability, the I guess the how you could feel towards the brand are all absolutely key points. And if they bring collaborations to sports drinks, if they bring their style, they bring what they've already done in energy drink, and just all the cool shit that they've done, I see them doing better than in hydration than what they've done in energy drink. Not necessarily like monetary value or whatever, but just in terms of overall impact. There are a lot of competitors in hydration drinks or sports drinks, but nowhere near to the amount that you have in energy drinks. I don't know the numbers, but I don't think it's close. And you switch that around and you just see if Ghost can give even a little bit of that impact that they did in energy drink in hydration, it'll have multiple times the impact. And like I said, the sports drink space it's not exciting. It's just that it hasn't seen as much bumps and jumps as energy drink. And Ghost is responsible for a lot of these cool things that are coming out in energy drinks. And they bring that over to the hydration space. I don't see this just, not having a giant crater of an impact in there. At the very least, I could be wrong. I might be way out maybe a complete mess. But I just see if they can do what they've done in energy drink, if they even do remotely close to what they've done in the hydration space, which is like less competitive, I mean, it's going to be huge for them. So this is all based on the theory that what they're cooking up is a hydration drink. If I'm wrong, whatever. If I'm right, hit me up in a year and say congratulations, you're a smart man. But on top of that, Ghost also put out a piece of information that they are coming up with a traditional energy drink. Now, what that means is, at least to me, the description was a traditional flavor. And then they further said it won't be as syrupy and it won't have that caramel color. To me, right away, and I don't know if everyone picked up on this, but we wrote about this on the site, you can go check it out. To me, this is a classic energy drink flavor. Like OG Monster, OG Rockstar, Red Bull, those classic syrupy, malty flavors that you just get when you find an energy drink out in Europe and they only have one flavor, it's this, if that makes sense. You go to a long lost country and they have an energy drink of a brand you've never heard of and it's made locally, that's this flavor. That's a traditional energy drink flavor. It's not all the same, but they have that same kind of base, malty, like syrupy type taste. It's not for everyone. I like it, and I always like trying the different variants. But my guess is when Ghost says traditional energy drink flavor or traditional flavor for Ghost Energy, that's what we're in for. More importantly, they've said that it's going to be exclusive to on-premise, which means situations where Ghost Energy drink is available, but you have to buy it and drink it on premise. You can't take it away. You can't go in and buy it and take it away. So bars at music festivals, things like that. And this will be exclusive to them. and it's also going to be in the shorter 8.4 ounce can, which is already out and available. I think it's an Orange Creamsicle, whatever that one's called. That's also in bars. My theory is that I'm guessing it's designed to be mixed with makeup or whatever, cocktail drink, shot, whatever the hell they do. Like in traditional sense where you get an energy drink and some alcohol. And with their huge presence in this situation, in this place, they would just, it's not a sports nutrition specific or I guess supplement related space, but they've reached out to these music festivals and they're now associated with that whole bar scene. So it makes sense that they do this and kind of make something, I guess, that would be more fitting for that occasion rather than an energy drink and an orange cream or a watermelon or stuff like that. That one seems extremely interesting. We put up a post, as you can see, that picture I made, that's not real, just in case anyone's wondering. It's just it's an alternatively colored version of the orange cream 8.4 ounce. But traditional energy drink flavor. They're currently toying with the idea, but I don't think they would have mentioned that they're toying with the idea unless they plan on bringing it out. So stay tuned. We'll have more information shortly. But for this episode, that is it. Thank you for listening. Look forward to having you back next week. And make sure you hit the site again every day, twice a day, 3 times a day. And I appreciate all the support.